everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Scrappy Tails Crafts, and we are going to dig in to her Gothic Halloween. I'm going to start out with the Grim Reaper Wraparound Pop-Up card. First one, yeah, let's just start out. We've got this beautiful Grim Reaper. I am going to use the backdrop from the Cathedral Pop-Up Tunnel Shadow box die set as well, just to have this background for the piece. I've die cut that background 3 times, 2 times from black cardstock and 1 time from a mixed media cardstock, because I want to ink blend using my brushes just some purple and blue dye ink. I am not going for the perfect blend here. I want it blotchy. I want it messy. This is just going to be a backdrop that peeks out from behind the Grim Reaper coming over this cemetery stone. So once I have the colors, and I'm keeping in mind that there are holes cut out when it comes to the his cape that's ripped up and damaged. So I'm just continuing around with the blue and the purple, and these two will mold, you know, kind of blend together on their own. These are the Simon Says Positively inks. And once I have the color the way that I want it to look, then we will just get this adhered eventually onto that panel. I'm going to clean up my mat. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going to hit, what's not going to hit. So I am just going to put glue all over the back and get this onto that ink blended background. I do double up a lot of these layers. I want it to have strength. I want it to have stability. Next, I'm going to come in. I did also cut the Grim Reaper from a lighter gray cardstock, and I was able to cut out the tombstone. That's one of many reasons why I love Sabrina's dies. You can look at the pieces, and while she provides all of these layers that you need to do your paper piecing, and that's pretty much what you're doing here through die cutting, you can also cut away sections from those dies as well if you're looking for that to have a separate color. So the base of the Grim Reaper was a darker gray. Now I'm coming in with the black tones for his tattered cape. I'm then going to come in with the black accents for the tombstone and the phrase, "Rest in pieces." And then every so often there's just going to be this pop of color that you just would not expect when it comes to his cape. And now we're going to put the sentiment down. And here's one of the pops of color that I've got. I chose a dark but bright red for this lining. I chose an even lighter gray. I believe this is fog, but a very pale gray that'll be used for the hands and also the skull itself. So I just love the way that red just wraps around. The skull itself does come in 2 pieces, so I did layer a piece of black cardstock to the back so that his face would definitely pop out. Now we're going to work on his sickle. And I die cut that 3 times from the base color, brown color. And then the final layer is going to be on top for the sickle itself, and that's going to be silver. So I'm going to cut that away from that piece and then just get that placed right on the top there. That would also be cool in like a holographic cardstock. Yeah, just saying. I know creepy Halloween is not for everyone. I love it. I don't watch horror films though, except the really old ones. I have to watch Halloween every year. I have to watch Halloween. But yeah, I do like the creepy. I don't like haunted houses. Nope. I walked through one once, and after I finally got out, I vowed never again. But I do like the creepy look of Halloween. I know, I'm different. So now that we've got his sickle in play, I'm calling it a sickle. Very large knife. I'm thinking maybe that's called something else. For some reason, I'm thinking it's called something else now. We're gonna go with it. Now working on the hourglass. And I did make sure that I put the knife down first so that the hand would go over. And I made sure the hand bent around it. So you can see the creases in the hand. Now, I should have done that because in the other hand, the hourglass is going to come down. But you'll see me. I do lift up the hand. It's okay. It doesn't tear. So that I can set the hourglass underneath once we get all of these pieces. This has a little bit of a pop of color. Chose a very pale blue to represent for the glass. And then just, continued into my scraps when it comes to a darker gray for the top and the bottom. And I'm just coming in with some ink for those pieces that I couldn't get precisely together. And then I have some silver coming off of the sides. I'm going to come in with my pokey tool and just to get that hand lifted up just a little bit so that I could at least just get the corner of that hourglass right in there. And then once that's in, it's not going to go anywhere. Couldn't decide what color I wanted the tombstones to be. This is the wraparound part now that I have the base done. And I chose this green gray, again, keeping it very mottled, very dark, but still having these pops of colors so that if you have it on a mantle or on a shelf, people will still see it with those bright colors. I'm coming in around with some black soot onto that piece, and I die cut all the tombstones out of brushed silver or a satin gold or a gray, and I think black finally. And I'm just going to mix and match those colors going across the front. With the silver and the gold, that's going to brighten this up just a little bit, but not enough for your like, ew. So again, just having a play with the metallic cardstocks and what they're going to do. And these come either 2 layers or even 3 layers. I'll actually change up the layer of the one with the cross. I'll have the base a different color than the cross itself. So I'll be able to cut that out. But you can see you just have a different play with all of these different colors. And all of the ones that I have left over, I keep those. I'll put them together in different mixes and just put them in my pot that I have of all extra die cuts. One of the tombstones does have like a little bit of a sentiment there, rest in peace, but there are many ways that we can just judge these up in any way that we want. Now, But also keep this in mind too. Now, this is going to sound strange. Even though this looks creepy, and I put that in quotes, you can use any colors you want. It doesn't have to be done in grays. It doesn't have to be done in dark colors. I mean, think about that. That's the beauty of die cutting or coloring, using any medium that you want to use. You get to choose the colors that you want to make your image. Now, of course, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking of this in rainbow order. Can it be done? Sure. I mean, why not? I mean, you can use shades of orange. You can use shades of purple. If you want to stick, with the traditional Halloween colors of orange, green, purple, and black. So just because you see this image, that image doesn't have to be in those traditional colors. You guys have seen me many times take something and say, you know what, this can be used for any season, any holiday. All we have to do is change the colors. So, give that a try. If you like the way this looks, think about that. I'm now going to get the wraparound set up on our piece. So I'm working one side at a time, making sure that it's straight across. So even with the bottom, I'm then going to turn it over and get the other side attached. And then just holding this, because I am only using liquid glue. I'm not coming in with any double-sided tape or anything like that. I'm making sure my folds are in place and just working that paper, training it so that it can be put into a card. So the first piece I'm going to put down is our backer with the ink dyeing that we did, and there's that other pop of color. I could have added a little bit of black soot to it if I wanted to, or anything like that. I just chose not to, again, just to have that pop of color. Now I'm noticing, okay, I've got the knife that's coming out. I've got his beautiful tattered cape coming off the side, and I had glue there. I was going to put another piece down, but I figured, okay, this is the back. Now you can see for the black cardstock, I doubled it and I scored across it. So now you can lift that up, write your note in there, and this stands perfectly. But so much more detail can be added. I do like to just let the cardstock shine through with all of these wonderful details in Sabrina's die cuts. If you have any questions, just leave those down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. The products that I used will be listed down below with a link to Sabrina's shop. Just in case the link change, you'll always have her shop that you can go to. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. So make sure you hit that button, hit the thumbs up, and make sure you ring the bell so that hopefully you're notified when the next video is ready for you. Enjoy the process, guys. Just have fun. Have a play with your colors. Have fun with what you see these images to be so that you can make them come to life through your art. But always remember what's most important. Always be creative, guys. And I will talk to you in the next one. Till then, take care.